The title for my exhibition is She's Learning Herself, the artist statement of which is creating artworks revolving around the exploration of personal identity. The title is centered around the self-discovery and exploration of my identity, including my culture and my passions, because due to negative experiences in the past, along with my family's lifestyle, I became very unsure of who I was personally and culturally. So I wanted to discover and redesign myself, but in order to do this, I needed to realize who I was first. The contents of my exhibition include 3 artworks: Ayak of Kyushu and Bloom. When creating these artworks, I intended for my audience to feel intrigued as to what my identity might be and to have a feeling of understanding of why I might be confused or what my identity might actually be. My first artwork, Ayak, meaning water in Penang, is a collage which is meant to show and express my feelings towards swimming, as I was a competitive swimmer for a while. This collage consists of 12 images showing a multitude of reflections in itself. I decided to include 12 images specifically as I was 12 years old when I began swimming competitively. The use of reflection is intended to share my view through my goggles, along with my mental state when I swam, as I spent most of my time reflecting on myself in the water. The child, shown 4 times in the image, is meant to symbolize my enjoyment and love for water and swimming, along with the 4 main strokes: freestyle, breaststroke, backstroke, and butterfly. My second artwork, titled Of Kyushu, is a series of images showing traditional fabrics and patterns I inherited from my grandmother, used in the Malay culture, in the shape of Kyushu, the southernmost island of Japan, where I was born. The lower right part of the mainland in most of the images shows a flower or circle clearly pinpointing the capital city of the Miyazaki Prefecture, Miyazaki, in which I was born specifically. This artwork explored my personal and cultural identity, where I incorporated both my connections to Malaysia and Japan. As aforementioned, this artwork explores my cultural and national identity at a general level in comparison to Ayak. As someone who's lived in foreign countries longer than their home country and have had to deal with moving from place to place at a rigorous rate, national identity was something I struggled with greatly. However, I do take immense pride in my birth and home countries, which I wanted to express through my art. One of the fabrics used in this artwork, specifically located on the bottom left, belonged to my late grandmother. She wore it on her wedding day and was later passed down to me before her passing. I decided to use some of her other traditional clothing along with some patterns I had bought on my own in order to show my appreciation towards my traditional heritage, which I have unfortunately been neglecting. Finally, my last artwork, titled Bloom, is an artwork made entirely of paper, which shows my desire to be able to grow as an individual from my past. The lotus flowers, arranged in the shape of my body, were folded using 3 different papers: the same paper as the background, pages from an empty planner, and from a handwritten journal of mine. The significance of these materials show how I decided to move on from factors holding me back. The position of my body is slightly reserved, but is slowly opening up, once again showing growth. Elaborating on from the significance of the materials I chose, I would like to focus specifically on the empty planner pages and the handwritten journal. The pages from the empty planner convey a time where I was unable to remember certain events due to a negative environment that I happened to be in. The pages from my journal contains words that comforted me during these difficult times, and some of which were my own words conveying how I felt towards current events. The reason I folded these papers in the shape of lotus flowers was because of the symbolism that lotus flowers have. The flower symbolizes self-regeneration and rebirth, which, taking into consideration of the meaning behind this artwork, was a show of how I wanted to overcome my past experiences and find a new, improved version of myself.